This is your girl, Kimberly Harris. Welcome to the Bitter Greens podcast. So you all have had 2 weeks to clear the clutter part 1. And we also had Valentine's Day. So I hope that you were able to love on someone and love on yourself. In terms of clearing the clutter, we are in finances right now, clear the clutter finances. But in tandem, I'm also clearing the clutter in my space. So I still have not gotten to my closet. Let me correct that. I've gotten to my closet, but I haven't finished my closet. So I'm doing it in sections. Like, okay, what don't I need anymore? And I did order some shoe boxes from the Container Store. So that'll help me a lot. So I haven't slacked on it 100%, but I totally have not completed it. So hopefully when the shoe boxes come in, I can be done with it. I think a lot of it too is holding on to clothes that I don't want to get rid of, but I don't need. The issue there for me, and this is a part of the letting go part, right, is that I have purchased something years ago and then stumbled on the perfect belt for the purse that I had. But what if that happens again? What if I haven't made the perfect match? Stop. I don't even know the last time I wore the purse or the belt. So yeah, I need to let go. I definitely need to let go. But I have been clearing the clutter in other areas. I did my emails and I'm not done with that. That is some work. Like my work emails and my personal emails. I have so many. What I've realized is that it's not emails that I need. It's those subscriptions that I signed up for, or subscriptions that people signed me up for when they sold my information or whatever they do. And so just going through and making sure that I'm not just deleting everything and then I end up deleting something that I need. And then the other side of that is, listen, why do I have all these subscriptions? So going through and actually unsubscribing. That took me some time and I'm still working on that for my personal email account. And then I'm just going to change one of my personal email accounts just for the junk mail. So, I still want to get that 25% off of, whatever store, Bed Bath & Beyond, but I don't need it to be cluttering my personal emails. So this clearing the clutter part, just in general, when you think about what you need to move out and clean out so that your space can be free to receive, is actually a process. But I do feel better when I log into my emails and I'm like, oh, the only thing I have are the unread emails from the day. Everything is either categorized and put in folders or deleted. Yay, yes. So 20 emails today, I can get through that. My next clearing the clutter, and this is making me before I even get it done, I hate mail, like regular mail, and I get a lot of junk mail. And so I do have a shredder. So what I'm teaching myself to do, and my grandmother does, is you ain't been to the mailbox? No. All of my bills are on auto pay or electronic. I didn't go to the mailbox, but let me go. But then it's all of this mail that I don't need, the person who lived here before, all of that stuff, I just don't feel like it. So then I have this pile of mail that I'm pretending that I'll go through. And then I kind of just thumb through it to make sure I'm not missing anything important. But I'm going to take a page out of her book, go to the mailbox. I'm going to say every day, but that's not true. At least a couple of times a week. And then resolve whatever the mail is in the moment. Just take it to the shredder. And if I'm doing it in small bite-sized pieces, I don't have to worry about it. And then return to sender. I don't know what to say to the mailman. This person does not live here anymore. So I just, before I even get into the house, I put it back into the mailbox for the mail person to come back and get it. So clearing the clutter in a major way, it has been a process, but rewarding. And since I'm home and able to do it, it's get it done, girl, get it done. So making space for all the wonderful things that are coming, but also removing that cloud of just stuff and junk that can be around us and we don't even know that is subconsciously affecting us. So in the last episode, you had 3 things to work on and you've had 2 weeks. If you started and listened at the time it was released, you've had about 2 weeks to get this done. The first one was to examine your relationship with money. Are you an emotional spender? Have you gotten your spending under control, or do you have money matters that need to be fixed? So what is your relationship with money? And I thought about this for myself too. And we talked about this at the last episode. And if you didn't catch it, please, listen to it. It is a quick listen. But what is my relationship relationship with money. And the purpose in that is so that we can identify what our spending habits are, and then also triggers. Am I an emotional spender? Am I buying Amazon at 3 a.m. when I'm up just because I'm bored and I need that random thing that popped up on my page? What is my relationship with money? Do I spend it all at once when I get it? And I'm not just talking about paying for your priority expenses, but is it like, let me go splurge and binge? Or am I frugal with my money? So having that understanding would help you determine, okay, what do I need to put into place? Where do I need to be a little bit more strict? Or where exactly am I doing well? And then also looking at how your family has handled money, how you grew up and what that looked like, because sometimes we don't account for that. That's why we are the way that we are. But that could also be an indicator as well that you want to look at. And then we were going to assess our mess. Are there any bills or any expenses that you swept under the rug, you haven't really attended to, that needs to be resolved? It either feels like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm never going to be able to pay this credit card off or those student loans or whatever it is. Really having a clear picture about what it is that we have to deal with or how it is that we're managing our money. And then also looking at our credit score. So what is our credit score? Like, don't shy away from that. And the idea in this is that when you look at it, kind of like looking at yourself in the mirror, when you see yourself for yourself, then you know exactly where you stand. The idea is to know where you stand. And then if you need to fix it, you fix it. And then if you don't need to fix it and you're doing well, you celebrate it. We know exactly where we stand. So we know our money mindset. We know where we are and what we have to do, or we're on the right track. And then the big one here was, how am I spending my money? You were to take a week to look at and categorize where you're spending money. Is it on food? Is it on drinks? Is it on clothes? Is it on entertainment? Are you spending it on video games or entertainment systems? So exactly where are you spending your money? And I actually am keeping this up in terms of, okay, let's see where the money goes. And I've been in like an edgy mood this week. Let's get it done. And had to blast a couple rap songs. For some reason, make the money, don't let the money make you, from the Players Club movie. I know, has been in my head. And I don't know what Diamond was saying, but in terms of how I interpreted this week is that I want to be in control of the money that I make and the way I manage money, and I don't want it to control me. And so I'll tell on myself in terms of how well I did. I actually started off very well. During the first week, I went to the grocery store. I did eat out. I had a meal from Panera right off of the juice cleanse that I share with you guys. I felt like that was my first meal that I wasn't going to cook. So I was all right with that. But I was very conscious about not buying Starbucks or any coffee out and just cutting back. I ate food at home minus the Panera, and I went to the grocery store. I did not eat out the first week. This week, I did break and went to the Chinese food restaurant. I was like, I ain't cooking tonight. I did cut down though, because my problem or pain point area is food and drink. I love food and I drink wine. And so I cut back on the wine as well, just for physical health sake, in terms of, listen, when you drink wine, you eat more. I'm trying to get back into the shape that I want to be in. So this is a mind, body, and soul endeavor for me in terms of clearing the clutter and just getting back into the space that I want to be in. So did a very good job. And then, DoorDash had a nerve to send, or was it Postmates? I think it was Postmates. I got a message. The message said, "We wish we could ring your doorbell." And I was like, see, this is how they get you. This is how they get you. And I stopped using DoorDash and Uber Eats and Postmates for this time, and probably will carry it on. I realized that you are using them because it's convenient, and really I'm being lazy because it is so convenient. There's a tip that you have to pay there. And then if you don't have the service, and at the time I did, the delivery charge was waived, but you probably are spending more on the food that you're ordering in terms of, oh, let me just add another sushi roll or this or that. So with the tip, and then spending like money on an extra meal because you're getting it delivered, you're spending more money. If it was like a $5, $6 tip 2 or 3 times a week, that's money that I didn't need to spend if I just got up, if I decided to eat out and go to the store. So cut that out this week. And that really made me happy. Like, no, I ain't spending $5 for this tip when it's right down the street. Get yourself up and go. But also I didn't eat out as much, and then less inclined to order one more meal meal because I may as well if I'm paying this delivery fee. So with my savings and just kind of cutting it out, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't spending in areas that were meaningless to me. Like the Starbucks coffee, I got a Keurig, I can make it at home. The food, you can buy high quality food and make it at home. And I treated myself to a massage. Yes, the massage. The goal here isn't to deprive yourself of life, but to establish a process so that we can manage our money in a way that it works for us. And it's not like our emotions are controlling us in terms of our decisions to purchase, and it's not sporadic. This is going to be one of the challenges for this week. You have a name to every dollar that you have, whether this is your entertainment budget, this is your utilities line item, this is your makeup or whatever it is that you have, or you have a savings goal. You have a big thing coming up, a wedding or something like that. So you're cutting out all the small stuff that doesn't matter. Like that makeup budget doesn't matter. Do I need my hair done so much? Does not matter. You have to figure out what your spending plan is for you, and then also your budget and those line items that make sense for you. I would not have a massage within my budget if I had another higher priority goal. But in terms of how much I've been working with my day job and just, trying to get the personal things in order, what does self-care look like for me and what do I value? And that was it. That's why I chose that. So yes, the goal is not to deprive ourselves. It is either if we need to deprive ourselves for a short amount of time, short time sacrifice for long-term gain to get out of a space that we're in, we need to do that. If we're in a comfortable financial place, what do we want to do differently, or what do we want to maintain? And then what are the luxuries that we can afford or cut back on depending on what our goals are in the moment. So just wanted to make sure that this deprivation is either for us to get to a greater goal or cutting back so that we can make room for the things that we really want to spend our money on. I looked at receipts from some time ago before COVID was a thing, and there was 1 week that I've spent more than $250 going out to eat and drink with friends. Like what? 250 untangible, expenses, like they're gone. The food and the experience is probably bomb, but 250, like chill. So make sure it's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet you for drinks and then the bill is like $70. I am allocating this amount of money for this week for outside or entertainment experiences, and I know that in advance. Not, hey, give me one more, because that happens. Hey, give me two more, and then you have four and you only budgeted for two, and now you're wondering how you spent $50 because the drinks in DC or whatever, wherever you are, can be a little bit more expensive. That's one of the joys for me in terms of being at home, that I have high quality whatever I want for less at home. All right. So the three things that I want you to do this go around is 1, look at your subscriptions, your car insurance, your cell phone bill, and your cable bill, and all of those things to make sure you are getting the best deal. I remember I was grandfathered in to Sprint for like their unlimited deal back in the day. It was $100. I realized that they had a $50 plan for the same thing, the same exact thing. So I was paying $50 more a month, and I don't even know for how many months, because I don't know when I actually realized that they had this plan. And I called them and I said, hey, you have this plan. I have it. I'm paying $100. It's $50. Is there a reason for this? Oh no, you were grandfathered into that plan, so it just rolled over. Why didn't that $50 kick in? It had no explanation, but they changed it. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is absolutely nuts that I've been paying $50 more just because I hadn't paid attention. So really look and see if you're getting the best deal for what you're paying for. The same thing with cable. They always got a deal when you call them. And then also car insurance. I do car insurance and homeowners insurance. So see where you could be saving. That's your first challenge for the week. The second piece is look at your credit cards if you have credit cards and see what the interest rates are and what you're paying. And then decide on one credit card starting with the highest interest rate that you're going to pay down or pay off fast so that you don't have this balance sitting there and you're ending up paying it back at a higher rate because your interest rate is high. So that would be your second challenge. Look at your credit cards, see where you have the highest interest rate, and then identify which one, if you have a balance that's rolling over, pay that down first, the one with the highest interest rate. And then the third part of the challenge this week, and it's going to take you some time if you don't already have it, create your budget. Make sure you have a name to your money for every dollar, your bills and your expenses expenses, and then also with your entertainment expenses or those things that are not necessities, or eliminate those if you have a bigger spending plan or scale them back. And then also with your budget, have a savings plan for emergency savings. And then also if you have a short-term goal that you want to save for, integrate that money into your budget as well so that when it comes in, you have a place for it. And I feel like just in life, if I have a place for something, if my coat goes in the closet, when I go back to the closet, my coat is there. If the chair needs to be pushed under the table, I'm always going to find it there. It's when we don't put our things in place that they're chaotic. You can't get a handle on them. So put your money in a place, name it, and that would be your budget. So that is what we are working on today. If you already have a budget, look at it again. Look and see if you have everything that you need to be on there, or you look at your spending trends and just refresh your budget if you need to. Lastly, if you need a budget template, just do a quick Google search. They have tons of templates. You can either get a basic Excel file, you can get an app, you can also get some software from your computer. I'm not going to recommend one just because I don't know what your needs are, but if you just do a quick Google search, you'll be able to find some that are free, some that are at a cost, and some that can be used for your business as well as your personal finances. And then also, if you want to get some quick tips on Instagram, follow Alan Chavis at Extra Credit FS. It's at Extra Credit FS. He also has a website as well, and I'll put that in the show notes. Happy clearing the clutter on your finances, part 2. Thank you guys for joining me this week. If you like the podcast, please follow me on Spotify. You can also subscribe on iTunes. I am also on Instagram at bittergreens1. So if you like quotes and want to drop comments about the episodes, you can meet me there. I look forward to talking with you guys next week. Now go win the day. Don't let the day win you.